So Zach starts turning at me in a very defensive mode and starts just going off on all of these incidences where I said cuss words, like 2 or 3 of them. And I was just like, whoa, where's this coming from? And so I was, it's weird, to be yelled at by a 13-year-old when you're 21. And so I was just pissed at that situation. Plus, the things he was saying were very irrelevant, sort of. I mean, I don't know. Any other sibling, having these kind of things with your siblings are totally normal. It shouldn't have been a big deal. It wasn't a big deal. But then it escalated to a big deal. Because I left the situation. I went in my room and I was like, whoa, guys, this is clearly you guys are upset about something else. I'm really sorry that I said the S word. I will definitely work on not cussing in front of you guys, and I understand that you don't want to hear it, and I'm sorry, but I do not want to play anymore, so I'm going to go in my room. So I go in there, and Nick feels like I just left, and I'm pissed at him because he told me not to cuss, so he feels like crap. So he tells Zach something, and Zach's mad, and he comes to my room, and he just very argumentatively just starts, it's not even worth repeating what he says, but basically he gets very upset and starts spewing out this crap that's totally not true. And I'm looking at him so confused because he's never acted like this at all. And all the stuff he's saying sounds eerily like something my dad would say. And so I'm getting more and more pissed off. And I'm thinking, how am I going to handle the situation? I'm getting lectured by a 13-year-old. And then he goes and says some stuff like, I'm tired of you talking badly about Dad, and all these weird comments that just out of nowhere, totally irrelevant to what just happened, and they were loaded. I mean, he was angry. And so I'm thinking, gee, me and Shelby went out last night and didn't come home till 11. I bet Dad stayed up and started bitching to my stepmom about a lot of stuff that Zachary picked up on, and now he's repeating it back to me as if he's come up with this on his own. And so I'm very pissed off at this time. And I'm trying to stay level-headed and not project my anger towards my dad at my 13-year-old little brother. But he is not having any of it. He sees me as ignoring him and not giving him the time of day and belittling him or whatever because he's 13, and I'm thinking of something completely different. Then it starts getting even more weird. He starts bringing up stuff that never happened. Just legitimately never happened. And I'm just so flustered and confused and hurt, and just all these other feelings are flushing towards me of all the past crap that's been happening over the last couple weeks and how uncomfortable I am. And now I feel like the cherry on top of the shit sundae is that my brothers now hate me or whatever, or have all this resentment towards me out of nowhere. And so I just felt completely overwhelmed. And my sister, I'm like breaking out in hives right now. My sister Shelby comes in and she's like, Zach, what the hell are you talking about? Like, you don't know what you're talking about, buddy. You're just kind of all over the place, and he was getting really emotional, and he didn't know what he was talking about, and he was just angry. And so we were just like, whoa. So it just kept getting escalated, and I just got so overwhelmed and so stressed out that I went in my room and I started like hyperventilating, like fetal position, crying, sobbing, hyperventilating. And I was shaking, and it was horrible. And I in that moment, I just kind of snapped, and I was like, I gotta get the hell out of here. This is horrible. This is toxic. My dad is so manipulative that now all these people are turning against me, and I didn't do anything. I did not do a single thing. I mean, what do they have on me? That I didn't make my bed, that I didn't take my dishes? Those are normal things. I didn't do or say anything. If anything, I've been going out of my way to be uber respectful, to be uber appreciative, and I just feel like nothing I do is right, and that I can't win, and it's almost like my dad just wants me out of here so bad that it doesn't matter what the hell I say, everything is going to be wrong. And so I just felt the weight of this just crashing in on me, and I went in my room and I packed up all my crap in like 10 minutes. And there's a lot of stuff because they made me my own room. They moved my brother out of his old room, and they bought all new furniture, and I had my own room. And so I made it my own room by putting all my stuff out, but I packed every single thing as fast as I could in 10 minutes. And I was hysterically crying, and I couldn't think of what to do. And Shelby just got home, and she was just like, it was just so hard to articulate. My stepmom comes home right as I'm packing, and I'm like, great, great. Normally, I would go and tell her everything, and she would alleviate the situation by making me feel better and calm me down, and we would go talk about it with Zachary and with my dad, and we would just kind of get through all this crap. But now I'm thinking, she hates me. She doesn't want me here. I'm not going to go talk to her, and if I say anything, she's just going to think that I'm being overdramatic and just... Her word is, I'm a bunch of drama. She keeps telling my sister that Shelby and I are just a bunch of drama, which is something my dad would say because we're the ones who wanted that intervention to happen. So she comes home, she's sitting in the bathroom talking to my sister. I'm completely shaking, I'm a mess, and I'm like, you know what? F this. I'm gonna go stay at a hotel. I'm gonna get the hell out of here tomorrow. This is it. I'm not gonna stay in a house where every person in here doesn't want me here. It's just not gonna happen. So I go into the bathroom and I tell her, I'm sobbing. I'm like, you know what? I can't. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be in here anymore. And her face goes like this. That is she just starts saying something like, I don't even know what she said, but as far as I'm concerned, she could have said, I am sick of this bull crap, whatever she said. I don't know what she said, but all I saw was that look on her face was not supportive, was not in my favor at all, not any way, shape, or form. So I freaked out and went back in my room and was just like, oh my God, what am I doing? Everyone here hates me. No one even wants to hear my side of the story. What's going on? Meanwhile, Zachary and my other sister, Katie, are bombarding my stepmom with what happened with me and Zach and Nick, which should be completely separate, but they're now integrating it, and she's thinking, oh my God, all this freaking drama. Plus, Brittany's in there crying. Why is she crying? She comes in there, she sees my bags packed, and she is pissed. She's like, fine, you don't want to be here? Fine, then we don't want you to be here if you're miserable. I'll get you a ticket. Let me go call your dad. And she's very mean. And so I'm like, that's it. I'm out of here. And Shelby's like, let's get out of here. So I just grab my purse and I go with her and we leave and we go to Borders and we just sit down and we talk it through and we decide how crazy the situation is. And basically, she makes me feel better that I'm not crazy and that I didn't do anything wrong. She's like, you didn't do anything. She's like, if anything, you've been spending all this time and resources to help make sure that the boys are having a fun summer and all this stuff. Long story short, I ended up spending the night at Josh's house, her boyfriend, which I made the video from. And see, there's a whole nother side to this too that I want to go through, and I guess I can make another video, but my dad and Michelle start calling me nonstop, and I'm thinking they're pissed at me. I don't want to answer, so I avoid their calls. I go to sleep that night. I wake up the next morning. No one calls me for a long time. And then about 11, 12 o'clock, my dad calls, and I decide to answer because I'm like, okay, we all went to sleep. We should all be better off today. No one's going to be screaming. And my dad wasn't there for any of it. So I was hoping he would be a little bit more civil and a little bit more open-minded to hearing my side of the story. We speak for 3 hours. I tell him my entire side of the story. He opens up a little bit and says, look, I can relate to a lot of stuff you're saying. Sometimes I come home and I feel completely overwhelmed, like everyone in here is against me because of a fight we had or whatever, or the sisters are ganging up on me because they're pissed at me, whatever. He starts opening up and I'm like, wow, I'm actually making some progress with him and he's not being such a reserved jerk. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is reconcilable. Maybe I can come back tonight and we can all talk it through. So he calls and he's like, I'm going to come get you after I get off work and we're going to go grab some ice cream or something. And, the last thing I want is for you to get really upset and make yourself sick over this. And so I'm like, wow, he understands, wow. And I felt a little bit hopeful. I still didn't trust him further than I can throw him, but I felt a little bit hopeful that maybe he was understanding and being sympathetic and all this stuff. And so the rest of the day happens and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm probably going to go back home tonight. I'm probably going to go back with him when he comes to get me. And then he calls back at like 8 o'clock at night when he gets home from work, and he's like, okay, well, we got your ticket for you. You're leaving in 2 days. If you need anything else, let me know. You know my number. And I'm like, what the hell? I thought we were going to get some ice cream. I'm going to make another video.